the Common Council's committee meeting of safety. It is 5:32-ish. We only have the two of us in attendance. Claire, I don't.
Walking in right now.
Excellent. Dewan will not be here tonight. He is, for reasons of out of Hudson.
Hmm?
And good evening.
Hi.
We just started. So it's Claire, myself, and Dominic, and we will start with, I don't have any agendas printed out, but it's pretty straightforward. We're gonna start with fire with the monthly report.
So for last month, we had 44 calls. This month, 3 of those were fires, one was a dumpster, one had some truck involvement, the other was a cooking fire. 11 hazardous conditions, 2 of those were gas leaks or gas odors, carbon monoxide incident, we had 1 bomb threat. 6 of those were, power lines, something affected with power lines or transformer blown, electrical hazard, sorry, 7 of those. 1 motor vehicle accident, 18 non-emergency calls, 12 of those were false alarms from a malfunction. And then 10 public service, which range from, accidental alarm activations, a lift assist, 1 weather-related incident, and an elevator rescue at the end of the month, so. Busy month, 8 out of those 44, 8 of those were the day of the storm. All once, we got hammered all over them in a matter of a minute. They called us for the first one, they called us right back and had 8 alarms.
It was a loud night from you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty busy, we used to get them a lot, so for the younger guys, it was a little different, but. Yeah, I mean, we kept it, I think everything was back up and running in the city, except for, as far as power. By 9 o'clock, other than some major stuff over on Union, but that was it. So, the new truck they're going out for final inspection Friday. This Friday, they're going out for final inspection, so by next month, when we come in here next month, we should have a truck.
Okay, mid-June, I'm sorry, mid-July, we're supposed to deliver.
Right, pretty sure that, it's gotta go back to, it's gotta come to our actual dealer, they'll come down here, get tools mounted, some small stuff done to it before it comes here, and we train on it and put it in service, which won't take long at all. We did run our first echo cardiac arrest, what was that? The other night, Thursday night, so we ran our first one, it was a reversal, believe it or not, between everybody involved there, it was a reversal, so. That's a good start to our doing our new stuff that we're doing with the medical for the echoes, so. It's a good way to work out some of the kinks and stuff like that, so. Worked out with HPD, the squad and us there. It actually worked out perfectly, we probably would have got called anyways if it was the old style and we weren't there, because it was on the 3rd floor and definitely needed some assistance, so. Other than that, we're off to a pretty busy start this month too, so.
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't have too much weather the rest of the month.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope not, right?
Well, thank you. Any new stuff or, I don't have any questions. Any, Dominic, Claire, anything?
Did anyone use the cooling center? Do you know?
I mean, we had it open for 3 days, we had it open for 3 days. I don't believe there was really anybody, a person or two maybe walked in there in between, but I didn't notice anybody in there, I don't think anybody else really noticed anybody in there. I think I sold 1 bottle of water.
I seen a woman go in and grab a bottle of water.
Yes, all right, so I mean, every year they do it. I've been told in the past too that nobody.
Well, if the power loss, we would have.
Yeah, it's different, like, if it was like that storm happened, maybe, when it was really bad like that,
Right.
that would have been a different story,
Right.
Right. But as far as just like on a regular basis, on an extreme hot weather day,
Mhm.
you're not seeing the traffic or anybody in there, so.
Oh, good to have it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for fire? Okay, I don't have anything.
Wonderful.
Have a great
You
evening.
guys have a great evening.
Man, I'm not gonna be that fast.
That's good. I will, see you guys later. Have a good night. Thank you.
I don't think I'm gonna be that fast.
No Captain Miller tonight?
No, Captain Miller. Captain Miller is away on vacation this week, so,
You guys are allowed to do that?
yeah, once in a while, that's okay. That's
I mean, I thought we could only do that every 2 years. Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Oh,
And we'll start with the monthly, monthly report.
Okay, first, the body worn cameras. There was nothing to indicate any training needs or any discipline. However, there is an open IA because we received last week a citizen complaint from the AG's office. So regarding, obviously, I can't speak about that, but regarding the incident, body cam will be reviewed again for that particular incident. So for that, the monthly report, the number of defensive action reports were 2. One was, we had an active arrest warrant for a subject and then he fled. He was apprehended and taser was displayed and pointed but not deployed. The other one, we responded to a mental health incident involving a subject who expressed a desire to harm herself and refused to voluntarily go to the hospital. So officers had to take her into custody so that she could be brought to the hospital. We have 26 arrests and 32 charges for the month, and then 9 emotionally disturbed person calls, 0 administered Narcan or suspected drug overdoses. Would you like me to go through the quarterly report? Yes.
The emotionally disturbed persons report, do those automatically include children or would you specify?
We wouldn't specify. It would be both. However, if you're referring to stuff at the school, we probably wouldn't, I wouldn't report that on my monthly. That would just be, that we wouldn't include necessarily the school unless we had to do something extra. Usually the SRO does handle those at the
And if
school.
you get a call for a young person, whether at school or in the community,
Mhm.
what's the next step?
I mean, we would do the same reporting. Parents would be involved and then they would go to the hospital, the same.
The hospital is the next step though?
Mhm. Yeah. You know, of course, we will still try, if we're able to, reach out to, mobile crisis,
Okay,
as well. But we know they work usually Monday through Friday, and if they're not available, the referral would be to the hospital, like from school or outside of that as well.
part of my reason for asking is because I know that, Astor is in the area now and they are like home-based crisis intervention, so I was wondering if they've made it to a secondary step if mobile crisis isn't available, because they're like the set to avoid the hospital. You can make a referral there, but I know you guys are in the crisis response, or probably into the hospital first, but I didn't know if they were put on the police department's radar as a resource yet.
No, I mean, this is the first I've heard about it. I
Okay.
mean, and I'm certainly, and I think everyone is certainly happy and willing to have some kind of diversion as opposed to just straight to the hospital.
Okay.
We know that the hospital is good at what they do. It's not always the best place for folks in crisis and who may need other intervention. So,
If you don't mind, I think we are, can I ask Pastor to come to our next safety committee meeting and.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. Another resource is always better.
And probably Dan on Nazi here.
I don't know who that is.
He's the county, director of the
Even better.
I think also with the school, it depends if the child has an IEP, it might be in his plan to go to the hospital, so it's all
Yeah.
depending on the person's.
I was asking more community than school, but
mhm.
thank you.
Cool. So for the quarterly vehicle and traffic reports, 216 tickets were issued for Q2. And then if you break it down, 320 traffic stops or incidents were completed. So that's a 67.5% issuance rate, for traffic. And that includes 16, speeding tickets for that time period as well. And I'm disappointed Mr. Kruger isn't here today because I had some data to share. And I can go through that data or I can send it to the committee and send it to the council and then ask Lyric to post it as well. And I can send a copy to Mr. Kruger
Can we
as
do
well.
both?
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. I didn't print out copies for everybody,
That's fine.
but it
You can
was,
post it and we'll read it there.
it's some data, obviously, about the speeds from Warren Street eastbound and westbound for a period of approximately 2 weeks each. I think for westbound, there was a little bit of discrepancy and the sign might have been down due to weather or something because there was a significant number of vehicles less than that were eastbound, but we know that that's probably not true. So we think there might have been some technical issues that created the discrepancy. But I think what's important, so eastbound on Warren between June 3rd and June 17th. It recorded 49,293 vehicles. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
2 weeks.
The average speed was 17 miles an hour of those vehicles. The highest speed, which we think might be an error, because cameras were checked and couldn't find any listed at that time, at 81 miles per hour. But again, we checked the cameras and couldn't find anything, so we're not sure where that came from. And then, yeah, the busiest hours were between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
This is the 800 block?
Yes. And then the number above the posted speed limit of 25 miles an hour is 6,575. I didn't break that down in percentages as of yet, which I will do when I send my reports out to the council.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seems like it would really be really difficult to get up to that speed in that area.
Yeah.
Oh. There are some bikes that
You're trying.
love to rip down that street lane.
Yes,
I only know because I,
Seems like it would be hard to do safely.
oh, it is hard to do safely.
yes. And then westbound, starting from June 19th to June 30th, 22,400 vehicles, which I think is an error. But it collected the data it collected. The average speed was 19 miles an hour with the highest speed recorded at 49 miles an hour. And then above the posted speed limit was 4,939. And this information that I have right now doesn't exactly give me the range
Mhm.
of what over that is, so what is included. It doesn't. And I can break it down and look at the data more closely to see how far over the speed limit that was. But initially looking at it, without it being on here, it was between like 26 and 35 miles an hour. Not too many in excess of that number. But I will have more reports and send them to the council
Thank you.
to post.
It's felt like that sign.
Hi, this is Margaret. May I ask a question?
Sure, Margaret.
So, Chief, you had in the data that you just reported where you had the outlier at 81 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to have available what the next speed was, ignoring that outlier?
Not currently, not in front of me, no.
Okay, thanks.
If you want, can you send that to me in an email so that I can have that?
Sure,
To
yep.
get that to you?
Yeah, I'll follow up with an email. And the reports that you have in front of you, that
Yes.
raw data, will you be able to share that with the council?
Yes, I'm gonna add more information, more data to this, send it to the council and also provide it to Lyric so she can post.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What else did I have? Is that it for quarterly?
That is it for quarterly,
I have,
unless you wanted to know where the speeding tickets were issued.
yeah, I'd love to know where
I also
that.
have that.
Yeah, great. That's an
Um,
important one.
So the general locations were South Third Street, Green Street, Harry Howard Ave, and Worth Avenue, with the majority being issued at South Third Street and Harry Howard Avenue.
Thank
Is
you.
there a time on those?
I don't have the times in front of me that, I think they're on the report though. And if they're not on the report, I can get them to you.
And so the south third speeding is almost certainly before you reach Union and Allen, is that correct?
I mean, it's possible, but I think everyone was even in excess of 30 miles an hour anyway.
And when you're reporting speeding, is it anything over the speed limit or is there a buffer? So
I think
so
it's,
like when you enter the 25 mile zone, is 26 recorded as speeding, or does it have to be something higher than that?
well, I mean, an officer can pull over someone who is doing 26 miles an hour, but I imagine, the discretion is probably going to be 30 miles, or
Okay,
30 miles an hour or more.
okay, got it. Thank you.
This,
I did want to bring up later on, I would like to bring up another issue, but once this is over.
Okay, we'll give you the time when this is over. Does this data take into account any time that the state troopers are doing their evening runs or?
No.
Okay,
It's just HPD.
gotcha. Any questions on the quarterly reports? Margaret, is now a time, or would you like to wait for new business or something like that?
No, I can just bring it up now. It's something
bring
that
it
it's something that we talked about in the last administration, and is something that I think we need to address probably in legal
Okay.
committee. I know that there has been some activity around trying to do educational materials. This relates to e-bikes and e-scooters. And
Oh, I've got.
I don't know what the current status is in terms of getting education out there. We're going to take kind of a 3-prong approach. We were going to have an educational piece, try to reach out to the schools. I think that was being done through a different committee. But I think also this committee should take up the idea of ordinances relating to e-bike and e-scooter safety, age ranges, helmets, and so forth.
Well, Margaret, I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the things I was gonna bring up under new business was,
Okay.
I was gonna ask, and this is a perfect segue. I was gonna ask that we start pulling over everyone without a helmet on and stopping them.
Yeah.
We have bicycles and we have cars, and there's really nowhere to run in Hudson. It's a square mile. And not to say we should be ticketing all the youth that are e-biking and on bicycles without helmets, but it's only a matter of time before, unfortunately, statistically, someone is going to crash their bike. Someone is going to get hit by one of our visitors in town, and it's going to be a lot worse without a helmet on. There was this going back to the article you sent me in the last week of May 28th, there was an e-bike and a bicyclist colliding on, I think it was not the Brooklyn Bridge, but maybe it was was it the Brooklyn Bridge?
I think so. It was yes, it was, it might have been a runner and a biker.
It was a bicyclist in a non-electric bicycle, and they were hit by a electric scooter.
Correct, that's
that
correct.
has the ability to go 50 miles an hour, and
That's
it was a head-on collision between the two of them, and they both died.
Yeah, that's correct.
And it was no car involved. Both of them had helmets on, but there's a lot of, it wasn't here, obviously, but they're dangerous and they're super fun. And I mean, if you've been on one, they're exhilarating. It's really fun. It's a great time, but they're super dangerous. And if there's some way, I know we have a helmet law in Hudson, but I don't think the language extends beyond wearing a helmet on a bicycle. And yes, Margaret, we should be looking at creating some sort of language that at least protects us and the community in some framework. But, is that something that you could just say, we're gonna start pulling people over? There are always kids.
So we
ripping
did, so
down the-
2 of our sergeants last month did go to an e-bike training. And we have not, and because June has been so busy, have not had the opportunity to have a meeting as far as what are now current New York State laws and best practices for e-bikes. We do know that that children under the age of 16 are not supposed to be on them.
So scooters too, or just e-bikes?
It may be both.
Electric,
I think it's
anything electric
motorized or electric,
that is not pedal assisted
right?
is the language that.
So I think what we discussed at work is trying to, obviously what Margaret said is educate people. Because we also know that there are families and kids who use that as their primarily mode of transportation because they don't have cars or they don't have any other way to get around. So we also don't want to impact those who really use that to get to work every day. Or penalize those who are using it for that purpose. As far as when we get citizen complaints and complaints from the public for the noise or, erratic behavior on the roadway, it's trying to make contact with families and saying, hey, we can't do this. It's not safe. And with the potential to maybe take those scooters away from the kids and have the parent turn them over to a parent. We know that's not always ideal, because we don't want to also create a confrontation with kids, and we want to continue to build a rapport and a good relationship with the communities, but we also want to make sure that nobody is injured and everyone is safe. And hopefully, if we can get out there and speak to families and parents, and caregivers of like, hey, we need to just be smarter about this because we don't want somebody to get hit. And it may not be the people on the scooters, it could be the cars, right, not paying attention or
Exactly.
whatever. So we can educate those on scooters and bikes, e-bikes, motorized, motorcycles, all we want, but it may not prevent everything from happening, but we want to do as much as we can,
Well, does the child get the ticket or the parent get the ticket if the ticket is issued?
be the parent.
I have a question, suggestion, not a solution. Was already brainstorming what it would look like to have like a community and youth-led information infographic, like biker safety, scooter safety, thinking about Crown scooters and, bringing everybody to the table. Haven't done that because I'm not sure what makes the most sense, but if you have received training, do you think that like a community town hall on best practices and just like opening the conversation for dialogue and figuring out where to go from there about like what we as the city can request or, like put something in the atmosphere before the ticket, like we haven't said anything
Right.
yet publicly about like, this is not allowed, this is not allowed. So to be
Well-
fair to the new
I mean, it can't hurt,
emergence of
Right.
e-scooters and e-vehicles, if we offered an info session and then put something out there first.
there is a bike rodeo this Thursday as well,
Oh,
at Oakdale.
okay,
Bodie is helping.
No,
No, it's
parent.
right, it's at Oakdale, and parent, is kind of helped organizing it along with Berkshire Bike and Board.
That would
So
be
we
great.
can also try to get as much information that day as well. And I'm hoping I can reach out to Victor from Berkshire Bike and Board to see if he has other information. Because what we've also found in the past is that where people are purchasing these e-bikes from, they should be providing
Right.
the correct information,
Correct.
whether you need to get it registered and all that, and they're not.
Well, we are also allowing in this wonderful code book, an illegal business to operate the scooter rental without proper insurance, signage, or information about safety to people under 16.
That actually was something I really wanted to bring up, Henry.
Well, I got 2 pages of questions about it, but we've yet to hear back from the mayor and we've yet to hear back from Crown Scooters. And I still don't feel, even though it's been 60 days since they were asked, and they still aren't here. I still don't feel it's fair for me to go through everything without them in person to speak to their business and defend themselves or just give us some
Right.
back and forth. But there is a business operating in town that does not conform to our code. And I know that we might not agree on it. But it is the ordinance that Joe signed. And I'm listening, we don't agree, because I think that we can kick them off the street for a number of the violations, specifically signage and insurance. And there's no regulation stopping anyone with an iPhone from renting these scooters. And that just makes it more dangerous. And yeah, we're putting some on the parents, but then again, we're also putting it on HPD, which is not super fair to your burden of responsibilities. Without anything in the code book, that codifies our end of safety and protects the city and its taxpayers, I think that this business right now is not operating at the best time. Specifically with helmets and times of use. And anyhow, that's my feeling on the scooter business.
You mentioned that they don't have insurance.
It's not displayed. And their insurance says, at least this is coming from the very minimal information that Joe has responded with, and then he got a little nasty. So why bother having the conversation after that? Is that they said that once somebody uses their app, they are no longer legally responsible for the actions of that person renting their product. Which I guess, that kind of makes sense, but I am not a counsel. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how to go about that.
And have you reviewed the terms and conditions inside the app?
No, because I'm not gonna rent their product.
I know, but we're talking about it openly.
Yeah,
So if we're gonna,
feel like,
speak on their terms and conditions, we should at least be familiar with them.
agreed. So I don't really want to go forward without anyone coming forward, what is our due course if nobody wants to show up for the conversation? So
I think, Henry, one of the issues with regard to that is that they are operating under a permit rather than a contract. And so they're operating under a permit as a vendor. And they are not technically a vendor. So
Correct.
unlike,
It's not something that the council has approved.
unlike Hudson Paddles and so forth, where there's an actual contract, but that's kind of, I think, part of the problem that you're facing in trying to get information. But I'd like to kind of reel this back a little bit and say to Chief Franklin, since we know that this entity is operating in the city, and legal can look at what the current ordinances are. There's nothing relating to e-scooters to my knowledge, but we can work on that. Are they renting scooters to people under the age of 16? And B, and I think, Claire, this is something that you brought up to me, that this is potentially an opportunity to engage with that company and talk to them about, having them hand out safety information, hand out educational information, so that, that's a point of contact where individuals are renting e-scooters and they are informed of what they should be doing from a safety perspective. So Claire and Chief, I don't know what you think about whether we could see this as an opportunity for contact.
I mean, it could. I think my question is, what would the city be looking for a contract with her? Is that just to, be free from liability if something were to happen with someone renting the scooter? Or is
Well,
there,
Okay,
or is there a further like
I can answer
monetary?
that. I can answer that. When this first arose, I took the position that this should be a contract. Similar to contracts that we have with, and the closest analog we have is the Hudson Paddles. And the mayor's office took the position that this could be a vendor arrangement and they were given a vendor permit. So right now, they do not have a contract and the mayor has issued them a permit to do their operation. So it's not really within the hands of the Common Council right now. But what I'm trying to get at is, I would prefer a contract, in part because it protects the city, but also when you have a contract, you can put in terms of what they actually have to do. A permit is a different setup. But what I guess I'm saying is, okay, this is how they're operating. This is how the city has decided to approach this. Can we at least connect with this company so that we're making sure that we have this point of contact where people are renting e-scooters? Can we get information to them relating to safety at that point of contact? That's where I'm going with this.
To piggyback on that, Margaret, my focus is, yes, if they're following the code, similar to a vendor permit. Second to that, it would be, how are we being indemnified from a potential lawsuit? And that's my biggest bugaboo right now.
But wouldn't entering a contract with them put us more at liability, attaching us to this business that we're concerned about?
No,
I don't
Nick,
think so. I think it protects us.
sorry, entering into a contract protects us because in a contract, you specifically identify the liability, that this is not a city sanctioned thing, that the entity that has the contract, you can specify exactly what they are responsible for, and you can specify in the contract that the city is held harmless. So part of what I am concerned about here is that we have a vendor relationship and an individual is renting something from a vendor on the street, and it's a Hudson Street and it's a public street. And to what extent could they reasonably assume that this is a city sanctioned operation? When you have a contract, things are much clearer. And so that was why I would have preferred to see a contract.
Also, when you have a contract, we had contracts in the past and put stipulations, like, for example,
Right, right.
if a person violates a rule, they can't rent the vehicle, the e-bike again, right? Say if it has a ticket or whatever, then they can't rent it again. So there's stipulations of rules that if they do A, B, and C, then that individual can't use it no more. So it puts more ownership on the vendor to pay more attention to what's going on. They don't want to lose business, but they also want to make sure that people are abiding by the rules. Chief, real quick, I'm thinking on the educational side for the e-bikes, maybe night out, if we focus.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that one right now. There were some other things, but we kind of got
Right.
talking about this thing. But since we're having this discussion, I certainly can get behind, obviously, the educational piece and trying to get the community together for safety measures. I'm having a tough time getting behind having a local business person who's trying to do her best for this business to enter into a contract, which seems a little punitive in measure. And I think a goal as a community should be to reduce barriers to entry to things like this. And it seems like we're going the opposite way. But again, I am 100% for the safety piece. It just seems like we're getting past that with a
Well, we
discussion.
kind of got it thrown past us without any discussion at all.
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to blame the
No, no.
business. That was on the mayor for not consulting with anyone else in the city. And just allowing, signing a piece of paper and allowing this business to be on the streets when it does not codify to our public spaces
Mhm.
and rather our laws. It's in a public space where it's being used. We're here for the public space and to go back to your point, safety paramount.
And I think I have not spoken to the business owner about this, but I think that myself or Claire or somebody or Nick, we could reach out to her and say, hey, like, this is what we really want out of this. And can we come to an agreement? Because again, I don't know how she's feeling or if she's feeling like slighted in any way. But if she is aware of any of the discussions, she could, right? And so we need to have that discussion, like you said. It is unfair to kind of have these discussions
Yeah.
without her here to represent herself.
I think she's very community oriented. I think she'd be very willing to be part of the team.
Yeah, I think she'd be willing. I think the next step is like the enforcement, right? It's like, this is all new territory, so it's like, even if it's codified, what's the onus on her for enforcement? If somebody does get a ticket and now they can't use the bikes anymore, what does she have to do on the app end of things to make sure that person can't rent anymore? Is that something that she's aware of? Is that something that exists in that platform? Like, I think we have to also have a willingness to support her through those things.
Absolutely. But what she was speaking about.
Claire, one of the things that you brought up to me, I guess, a couple of months ago, I just think this is, like, we have this point of contact, point of sale, if you will, where an individual is renting either an e-bike or an e-scooter, in this case, an e-scooter. That is the point of contact where you can actually provide people with educational materials. And I think our focus, whether it's, I hear what you're saying, Chief. I don't see contracts as being a barrier. They're just a different structure to a permit. And this is not a vendor, it's a service. So to me, it fits with the Hudson Paddles. I don't, it's a different type of entity, but it is what it is. Right now, it's a vendor relationship. But I think that we're missing an opportunity here for this point of contact when an individual is renting a scooter and they could be provided with useful information relating to safely operating that scooter. And and this was something Claire had brought up to me. And I think it's something that if we could try to work on that connection, perhaps providing materials that they can hand out to people at the time that they are renting, I think that would be a good thing.
I think if it's app-based, I think there's gotta be a method to put that information where it's a check off, right? You read the information, you check and move forward.
I would say that there is,
There's
in
gotta be.
the past, when I rented them, there definitely is. There's a whole section.
And I don't know if it's not in place. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I'm
that's
assuming.
why I think a conversation,
I'll reach out to her and set up a meeting.
Thanks. And there's, just to clarify, there's nothing in our code at all about scooters. The only thing with bicycles says
That
where.
is correct. That is correct.
Headgear.
Yes.
I don't think it's appropriate.
And Henry, that is something that
Conversation, I feel
that
like.
is
Oh, we
something
tried.
that
Yeah.
is something that the legal committee needs to take up to put something into our code relating to scooters.
Thank you, Margaret. On this particular issue, does anyone in the room have a question or not? Ms. Mosley, yes.
Yes, hi, so in the vein of, the same vein of bike safety and, the things that always happen, like HPD and, other municipalities as well. If there's gonna be an information gathering, like Claire that you're speaking about, and Chief Franklin's gonna be involved in, I would like to be part of that committee. I think there's an opportunity for Operation Unite to assist in funding of certain helmets, depending on the age appropriateness and what really is involved. And we could come up with a small budget to kick this off so that we are working with safety as well as supporting a community member who's trying to get started and learn the ropes that all of us are in the same. So, when that happens, that would be ideal. If it happens, National Night Out, whenever it happens, I'll be at the table.
great.
Thank you.
You two can stay in touch, I assume?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, that is progress.
It's good we had the conversation.
Yeah,
Yes.
Logan, you have some questions online.
Yeah, I have Ronald and Bill.
Let's go with Ronald.
Oh, hi. Are you there? Can you hear me?
We're here.
Okay, fine. And you can hear me all right.
Yes, we can.
Okay, Matt McGee also would like to say something on this question. I just wanted to point out that there's another section of the code, chapter 17, whose title refers to peddling and soliciting. It also includes a statement about vendors. And there, this also covers someone who is merchandising a service. So I wonder if the rental of the scooters could be construed as that exactly, and a service, and come under that section of the code.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, well,
But this
because
is
strictly
unfortunately kind
speaking,
of circumventing that, and it's not their fault, it's what the mayor wants.
strictly speaking, that they're not vending anything.
That
Because
is
they're
correct.
renting something. So I just wanted to call that to your attention. And now Matt has something he would like to say.
Thank
Yes, in New York City, there was a problem with bikes, and it was revealed on the news that bikes were subject to the same laws as vehicles,
Yes,
and they were not allowed to ride on the sidewalk, and they were not allowed to ride in a different direction on a one-way street, and other things like that. And this, I'm sure this law also applies to motorbikes and motor scooters. So I don't know, the safety issues, some of them that you're discussing are about this sort of thing. And there are state laws already covering this, and people should have to abide by them. Thank you.
just to echo you want to answer, no wheels are allowed on the sidewalks unless it's pushed or pulled by a person.
Or I think under 14.
I thought there's an age limit.
There is an age
Yeah,
for
under,
kids. I think it might be 14.
was it 14? I'm gonna reread that chapter.
I may be wrong, but I know there is an age.
There's an age limit.
That makes sense. You're not gonna put a kid in the street. I see we have one more online, but I'm sorry, Bill, I am still not gonna take questions from you until you apologize for the language you used over the last 60 days towards our council members. So thank you for attending online, but I'm not gonna listen to your questions. Moving on. We're done with scoots. That's great. How did the weekend go with fireworks? Did you recommend?
That is on my list of
Okay.
things to talk about. I have a.
Back to your list then.
First, thank you, obviously, for the council. I know the whole council isn't here, but for supporting the Hudson Boys basketball and having them in the Flag Day Parade.
Oh,
And
you're
for
welcome. That was so fun.
acquiring a float and trailer for them and a boat.
We got them floated.
Yeah. We did, mayor's office and myself did receive a complaint about Flag Day communication and safety with street closures. I had a very long conversation with this citizen about maybe how to improve that for next year. So I just kind of wanted the committee to be aware of that, because they were very unhappy with the street closures and the length of the parade. We had a very good conversation, just being that it was the 250th anniversary. It's not normally that long. The roads were closed off for Flag Day. The roads were closed off for a significant amount of time, longer than they have been in the past, and hopefully next year, if there is a parade next year, it won't be that long. We only towed 7 cars, I think it was, for Flag Day, which is very low, so it's impressive. And then Pride, we towed none,
Code none?
towed 0 vehicles for Pride. And I don't think I had any complaints about traffic or anything. I personally didn't get any complaints about that. Great. Moving on to fireworks. I did not receive any complaints of fireworks this weekend personally. We did receive about 12 calls about the fireworks. And I know similar to last year, it was pretty concentrated to Front Street between like State and Columbia. And in discussions with officers today, I think the city can use this maybe as an opportunity also for next year, to maybe get a community committee together of folks who are involved in setting off fireworks and maybe trying to have it somewhat controlled and out there for the community. Because I know we as a city don't do anything for 4th of July. So residents take it upon themselves to do that, to celebrate. And maybe we can bring each other together instead of,
Create a space for them.
right,
Yeah.
and maybe have the fire
That's a good
department
idea.
there to prevent anything and just for safety measures, so we can say, yep, this is where we're gonna be. You can do it, we'll be here. Talk to them about having a mass gathering permit to do it, just so everyone is aware. Maybe give a time frame and maybe mitigate any complaints or any safety issues for next year.
I like that idea. Isn't Columbia County, isn't it legal in Columbia County to have and possess and?
It is, but I think the city could make an exception or an executive order allowing it, just as they lift the open container law for a day for Oktoberfest.
We don't do that for Flag Day?
Or a mass gathering. If I may just comment, Henry, I just want to, last year, we did have a lot of unauthorized fireworks. And at our, I believe our July or August meeting, the fire chief talked to us about it. And we talked about getting a message out ahead of time this year. And I want to just thank the fire department and the police department for posting something out there ahead of time to say, you know, this is a safety issue, and I thank you for that. And I do think Chief's idea of having potentially a mass gathering or something else, so that people can come together and do a fireworks display if that's what they want to do, I think that would be a really good way to go. But thank you very much. Thanks very much for following up on the discussion we had last year and
You're welcome.
actually putting a message out there.
It seemed like we had less than we did last year. Last year was like Fallujah.
It was, and maybe the messaging, maybe the weather, who knows, or maybe just everyone's like, hey, let's get together and just keep it in this kind of general one area and then work together and clean it up, because I think everyone was pretty good about cleaning up after themselves as well.
Yeah.
Um,
It looked really cool. Along, I mean, the terraces did a great display.
I heard, I'm sad I missed it actually.
I saw it from the water. It looked really good. They should, illegal, but you did a great job. Can we suspend open container on Oktoberfest?
They requested. Yes,
On city property, right? It's only on city property, right?
yes, because so they block off that section up
Right.
by
It's a blocked area.
Green State up there. It's
Huh.
blocked off, and so,
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. so not throughout the whole city, just in that one area.
Well, sometimes it just feels like it. I'll drink like 3 days a year and that's
Yes.
one of them.
Yes.
Okay. Like 5.
Uh,
All right, thank you. Back to you,
Continuing.
please.
I know Dominic had requested our sign go down by Oakdale for the opening of camp. I know they were closed today. Things just got ahead of us last week, so we will have our traffic sign, at the entrance to Oakdale tomorrow, for the duration of camp.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm going to request the safety committee to support a resolution for National Night Out. We've done that the past couple of years to just indicate August 4th as National Night Out for the city of Hudson. Thank you, Elena, as well, Ms. Mosley for Operation Unite, who is one of the co-sponsors for National Night Out this year, along with the sheriff, from the sheriff's department. Does everybody know what that is?
I was gonna
A
ask
little
you to
bit.
explain what that
Yeah,
was.
so it's a national campaign to improve community and police partnerships. And it's a free event for everyone in the community. We have folks coming into table. And any organization can participate and provide services or anything for the community and kids.
Where do you hold that?
Waterfront,
It's at the Motorfront. Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Every day.
And this year, it's pretty cool. CSX partners with, First Responders Children Foundation. And they sponsored a national night out program for this year. I was able to apply, put an application in, with that organization as soon as the application came out. And they will be providing between 500 and 600 children or toys for the children specifically for National Night Out. That organization delivers toys to children throughout the holidays as well. So it's pretty cool and it's free of charge. And they'll deliver those at some point between now and August 4th to the police department.
And of course, you're gonna be the Duncan.
What's that? I don't know. If I'm going to be in the dunking booth, but maybe I will this year. I did do it 2 years ago, so maybe I will.
Is that the line?
It is a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It is
yeah.
a Tuesday night.
Saturday's the first. Okay.
Yes.
Tuesday night. Oh, great.
Grateful.
Okay. Well,
I did want to mention, I don't know if anybody saw or knew the commotion, on Juneteenth at the hospital. There was HPD, the sheriff's office, state police there. The ER received a anonymous complaint or threat, for a bomb, saying that there were tons of bombs in the hospital and they were bringing more. So that started a whole like widespread kind of search. Everything was clear. And the phone call can't be traced. It's somewhere outside. It's a computer generated call. And it seems like whoever is behind this does it randomly to a bunch of different places. So fortunately it was nothing. There was no actual threat. It was not credible.
Is there, they target hospitals or just in?
Anywhere, anywhere.
I'm talking to us.
To that scale, it has happened before, but
It's probably the same entity that does the schools around here when they
it could be.
send that kind of shit.
They just do it everywhere around the world.
Ah.
They're really starting to take those extended warranties serious.
Yes. And then I don't know, to Claire's email, if you wanted to talk about any of that right
Yeah.
now, or
For the cans?
for either the LE Tech grant stuff, or the SRO
Both.
stuff.
If you have any. Yeah, if you have.
Yeah, I actually have a letter from Mr. Reardon that he actually sent me today, an email that I have for the committee.
Awesome.
Um,
Thank you.
Mr. Rickon is the high score.
What's that? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It was supposed to get into me last week, but he's on vacation, but he was
You.
so willing to send this to me today. Essentially commending Officer Rao for the work that he does at the school and to have him as a partner within the school. There is a lot that he does within the schools that that I wouldn't know of unless I spoke to staff, because he's involved in a lot of other things. And I can read this aloud if you prefer.
Better than just staring in silence, right?
Okay. And this is from Derek Reardon, the principal of Hudson High. To whom it may concern, I'm pleased to write this letter in support of Officer Rao and to recommend him without reservation. As our school resource officer, Officer Rao has consistently demonstrated exceptional professionalism, dedication, and commitment to the safety and well-being of our students, staff, and school community. Officer Rao has done an excellent job of serving our district. He has developed a very positive rapport with our students and staff, earning their trust and respect through his approachable demeanor, integrity, and willingness to assist whenever needed. He's a valued member of our school community and plays an important role in fostering a safe and welcoming learning environment. In addition to his daily responsibilities, Officer Rao serves on the district safety team, where he contributes to the planning and implementation of district-wide safety initiatives. He also serves as the liaison between the school district and the police department, ensuring strong communication, collaboration on matters related to school safety and emergency preparedness. Officer Rao is responsible for providing traffic control at all district school buildings, with the majority of his traffic duties taking place at our elementary school. His attention to detail and commitment to student safety during arrival and dismissal are greatly appreciated by our staff and families. Beyond the regular school day, Officer Rao regularly works after-school activities and events requiring a police presence, including athletic games, graduation ceremonies, school dances, and proms. His professionalism and visible presence help ensure these events are conducted in a safe and orderly manner. Officer Rao consistently exceeds expectations through his dedication, reliability, and willingness to serve wherever he is needed. His commitment to our schools and community has made a meaningful and lasting impact, and I'm grateful for his service. I offer my highest recommendation for Officer Rao, and I'm confident he will continue to be an outstanding asset in any capacity.
Thank you.
What's he doing in school's not in session, back in regular patrol?
He's on regular patrol right now, and he will probably bounce once the playground once Oakdale opens. He'll bounce back and forth between that and the school, because they'll have
So they have a school program too.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, he is working regular patrol right now.
Because I'm thinking with Mr. Reardon's connection with the school having, an email blast, right?
Mhm.
When we do this education thing, I think if he can take his connection, send it to the parents, say, hey, grab this educational thing at this date, blah, 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 blah. I think there's a nice connection that we don't have the resources to do because we don't have emails to kids and parents, right? So I think getting him on board with Mr. Rao, Officer Rao, and lining up whatever is the educational time to make sure Derek sends us out, right? An email blast to parents.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, we can do that. I can reach out to the superintendent as well,
Yeah.
so that all age groups can know. Get that info. Claire, was there anything specific that you wanted to talk about with his role?
I
At
don't
the
think so. I
school.
feel like your email earlier did a good job of explaining what we were asking, what Jenny was specifically asking about, and then if there's just like a quarterly wrap up of like how things are going. I don't even think it needs to be reported out if there's not huge instances, but just, I think it'd be nice to hear what's happening. So if we have an officer there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think, you might know a little bit, but when there are, incidents where a student may have made a threat or vice versa, he is involved in like those superintendent hearings and, they're called TERPOs, the temporary extreme risk protection orders. So he is responsible for, handling those. And what happens is that reach out to the parents, and if there's any threat or risk for a gun or a weapon to be brought to school, they go to their house and search and make sure that there are no weapons, and if there are firearms specifically, they get removed from the home for a period of time.
Cause I think those are the instances that community, like when there's a situation at the school and the school puts out a public notification, like that's where most of the speculation from the community comes in, like, should I handle it this way? Why didn't you do it this way?
Yeah.
Cause people are just not aware what's actually happening. So if there's something quarterly that's like, this is what Officer Rao is dealing with on a regular basis, or this is what his role is in the school, even if it's something that he hasn't done, but just bringing awareness to other things that, he could be handling in the school. I think it will just help overall between the district and the city, bridging some of those gaps in communication.
Instances would be great, but since everyone in school is still a juvenile,
So we can't give out
have
the
any of that.
That's what
information,
I'm saying, not
the specific,
Yeah,
specific incident.
what his role is.
Yeah.
The role, great, but
Yes.
but nothing beyond that.
Yeah.
Would be great.
I think even if we do the report of his attending the football game, blah, 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 it's like, because that's community interaction, right? You know, he attended X amount of games.
I mean, I can certainly say like there were X number of reports of, you know, someone bringing a weapon to the school. I don't have to specify student or whatever. I can just,
Teacher.
right, I could just say, there's this many incidents at the school. Because I also know that he will also help transport kids with staff home and from home to school. So he is involved in a lot more than what, maybe everyone thinks. It's not just like police, business.
Yeah, that's why I think, you know, community engagement at the games is very important too, because that's him being part of that community and on a positive level, right? We don't.
And until last year, he was, coaching volleyball as well, boys volleyball. So, but he bowed out last year.
All right. Well, thank you.
And
Anyone on the list?
I think that's it for my list.
Okay, any questions in the room regarding anything discussed so far? Logan, anyone online for the chief? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, I took the
No,
whole show, sorry.
that's what you're here for.
Did we get anything from Nick?
Not just yet.
Okay.
He's up next.
Okay.
I did, while we were here, I did read, the rest of the bicycle stuff.
Okay.
And it is, I'll just do the quick blurb that refers to the age of people.
Yeah.
Generally, no person shall ride, drive, or operate a bicycle along any public sidewalk or footpath intended for the use of pedestrians. This provision shall not apply to children 10 years of age or under, nor to individuals or cripples who cannot walk.
Oh.
Well,
that
we need
should-
to
that should
we need to
probably
change that simple
change.
word.
We should probably change, yes, and we're a little, our vernacular is a little outdated. Yeah, so I'll
I
flag
think the
that.
age should probably change to
Yeah, maybe 14,
minimally,
yeah, I.
maybe 16. I know that's tough.
There's some
That's,
pretty fast 16-year-olds out there.
I know. I just, if we're talking about liability, I need to
Yeah.
have a code that
Yeah.
does put juveniles in the street.
Yeah, so maybe 17, so 16 is a good place to start.
I guess this is
For
where
what? For
legal comes
Age
into
of
play.
people bicycling.
But we can say 15 and under, I mean, at 16, they're allowed to.
I think we should look at other municipalities. I think 15 is,
I think it
We
should
can
be
still
consistent
decide.
with New York State law, and I
Yeah, we
think
can
that
ask
might be
council to-
16.
We'll ask council to,
Okay.
find the age.
Right.
Sorry, legal counsel, not this
Yeah.
council. So I'll just mark it, it's 78.6. A.
Yeah. Definitely.
I can't believe it says 10, that's crazy.
State laws.
Can't believe it says
You can't make them,
And
Yeah.
it's pretty,
there's a lot in that book that needs,
yeah, one awful section at a time. We won't read any more, that's it on that one.
Okay.
Nick, code, thank you for sitting, I'm glad, it's better that you're at the end because fire and police, we need a little bit of code along the way.
right. Glad I had coffee.
Me too.
I don't have much. I have my monthly report, so there'll be, some questions or whatever. We reviewed and issued 27 building permit applications and issued 27 building permits. 10 municipal search letters. We issued 2 certificate of occupancies, 6 certificates of compliance. We went on 21 construction inspections and 4 housing inspections. We had issued 3 demo permits. 8 orders to remedy violations. And then our regular meetings and whatnot throughout the month. In terms of revenue, I mean, just altogether, we bring in $24,243.92 last month.
Should pay for a little bit.
That's
Maybe we
a
can,
light month.
yeah, let's get you some more help.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We are hiring a full-time person. Well, we're looking to hire a full-time person, I should say. We don't have any applicants yet. So, everybody knows somebody that wants to be a code enforcement officer. Please have them apply.
As long as they don't have to read all the emails.
You gotta read that, you know, that thing.
This is an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I had some things for Nick, but we discussed it earlier. It wasn't anything we needed to bring up at the committee, and we don't have to wade through it again.
Couple sidewalks obstructed that I'm gonna take a look at.
Sidewalks and signs.
Oh, there was something I did wanna, mention.
Just reminded me one too.
I keep getting complaints about chickens and roosters crowing and rats from these chicken coops and stuff like that, so I think possibly we should review our chicken coop laws and stuff like that.
Isn't it,
You can have a-
six hens, no roosters?
Right.
Yes, you're correct. So that was another water remedy. I did make contact with that home today, but, chickens bring rats.
They
so-
do.
Well, there was a part of that was something to do with that rats and whatever, right, in terms of that code. I thought that law that was written in, there's something to do about the varmints, right? Varmint control.
If you have rats, you have to get rid of your chickens, basically.
Well,
That's
if they're a nuisance or if it's an issue, you can lose that permit or you lose that, your chickens, right? I thought there was something in that, there's something that you had to do, I can't remember, because it was a while ago that they introduced that. Because you had to do like a permit to get that, right? To get your chickens, because you had to go through.
Yeah, you have to go to the planning board to
Yeah.
apply, and get approval from them. I think it was $500 fee just to be able to get the chicken fee. You are correct, you're allowed 5 chickens, no roosters. The person with the rooster, wasn't aware of that. They are now, they said we'll get rid of it within the next 2 days. If they don't, then we'll write them an OTR as well.
Eat it.
What's that? I don't know how they're gonna get rid of it, they just need to.
Well, if I say a rooster.
Oh, yeah, all their neighbors are complaining about it, of course, I think it's probably at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's an easy one not to
and
have.
then we saw my cousin Vinny, right? The rooster growing.
Yes. Well, thank you. Since you did bring that up, I have been reminded of the ordinance, sorry, the code saying no posting of bills or advertisements on city property, i.e. street lamps, street poles,
Mhm.
and public, utility. And we do have an enormous amount of signs that are posted on street lamps, street poles and utility.
Those poles aren't owned by the city, they're actually owned by National Grid.
Right, but they are in the city, so if, the way I read the code, of course, you're the code master. The way I read it says they're our responsibility.
That code master.
Sounds good.
Yep, the poles are owned by National Grid, it's technically their property, I can write, to whom it may concern OTR at National Grid, but I don't think we're gonna get much of a response from them.
Let's just
Well, it-
walk one street and remove all the signs.
Yeah,
It does obstruct vision, especially at Third and St. Mary's, on Allen Street.
I agree.
And
Those are utility poles,
$200,
not the new poles, right, that are
correct.
on one.
Yeah, the old-
The old ones.
yeah,
Well, they're supposed to be moved anyway, I think.
they're $200 plus 15 days maximum in jail. I'm sure they're not gonna put them back up after that.
I'm sorry, what are you're not talking about the regular business signs? Do we have a business in town, in the city of Hudson that has one of these signs?
No.
On pole?
Not that I'm aware of. No, just like the moving company, the cars for kids or whatever it is,
Yeah.
the clean your house type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But they are putting them on private property, which National Grid owns those poles again. So it's hard for me to, enforce these companies that are mounting signs.
do they own the pole if we have to mount the light on it? Is it not our pole now? No, I guess it's still their pole. All right.
I've already looked into this.
Okay,
I'd love for them to get taken down.
all right.
I'd love it if somebody would take them down.
So if National Grid has no,
What?
Thank you.
if National Grid has no signs,
I throw a lot of shit out.
you'd have to remove the pole.
I can't take it.
If there's no lines, if it's not an active pole, it's just there hanging out, do they have to remove the pole?
No.
No, even if it's not,
If
Nothing on.
If it's their property, they have that easement, it's their pole, then I would say no.
I don't see anything about rats in here.
no, I think it was the initial.
It's probably part of the conversation, right? Because I mean, that code is only a few years old itself,
Right.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's like 6 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
No, 2024.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. 2004. So we have a little age here.
Still, I mean,
No, we just did that. The chicken law?
The chicken law was updated in 24, but it originally went on the books in,
yeah, but it might have said no chicken.
No chicken,
back
yeah,
then.
it was.
yeah, that was 2020, 6 years ago, and then updated in 24.
Right, 'cause I believe it was no chickens before, and then they changed it, to which maybe we should
Yeah.
consider changing it again.
Yeah. To what? 1 chicken?
No chickens.
No chickens. I like that. I like
It's a
chicken.
city.
Yeah.
It's a small city, but still, we're close.
Did you watch those meetings?
What's that?
Quite contentious.
About the chickens, a lot of chickens.
Sorry, what?
Said those meetings were quite contentious.
Oh, yeah. Why, I could imagine that a lot of people didn't want chickens.
You know, we could get Lloyd to dress up as Colonel Sanders and.
Yeah, but if there is an issue with rats in, because of them, then there's gotta be some kind of,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if they're causing an infestation, that's another code that we could get into, you know, so, I don't know, it's a new one, to me, so, that's just something I'm bringing up, maybe you could.
We'll mark that as well. 70-17. Homework. Margaret,
Yes, can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Yes, I was actually on the council when we brought back bringing in chickens into Hudson. And I don't remember anything about rats. And if this is something, Nick, if you could send me exactly the section of the code that is in question.
I'll tell you right now if you want.
Yeah, no, I don't, I'm not writing up notes. If you could just email me exactly what I need to look at, LC can take it up and we can update the code so that we can address that very issue. But I actually have no recollection of any discussion of rats.
Yeah, you got it, I'll send it over.
I can keep
Right.
rats though. That's what it says.
it
Thank
might be
you.
part of the application, but I'm not,
No,
sure. I
if
know
we-
there was something about rodents.
If we need to put that in there, we will put that in there. I know that the only thing we looked at was square footage, penning, no roosters, no more than
Fencing.
6 chickens. That was what we were looking
No
at.
more than
and I-
5.
Sorry?
5.
5 chickens.
Yeah,
Give me
like it
6.
was, yeah, less than 6. I know that 6 was a number. But yeah, honestly, I don't remember anything about the rat issue. And if there's something we need to add to that code, happy to do it. Just send me an email and we will look at it and amend the code.
Thank you. Anything else from you, Nick? Relating to code issues, any council members?
I do have something,
Please.
but I need some more homework for Nick.
He loves homework. Yes.
I don't have enough to do.
So Philmont instituted a while back, right? The transition of rentals, right? There's an application that when someone leaves, they have to go through and get it inspected, which includes smoke detectors, blah, 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 blah. Is there a way we can look at Philmont's law and see how because what I've noticed is that when landlords, tenants leave, you know, sometimes, you know, there's a new person comes in, there's stuff missing, smoke detectors, things like that, and there's a transition. So is there a way to see how we can ensure safety for new tenants that there's this stuff in place, include, you know, because right now it's only if it's new, right? But if.
No, we do building safety inspections for any multifamily property, 3 units or more, or mixed use.
But that's only initially, right?
No,
If
it's
a new tenant comes into one of those, there's no new inspection.
on a recurring basis,
It is?
yes,
Oh, great. Like, I know Philmont every 2 years, right?
we're every 3 years,
Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize you guys had that.
yes.
I know there's stuff with fire when they have fire suppressions and things like that. But I didn't realize each.
Yeah, we have, over 400 buildings that we inspect on a recurring basis.
I guess you do.
Again.
I guess I do need another full timer. Just to cover that. So what happens? So every 3 years, there's a rotating list. Now, is that only as a new tenant or how's that, how's that go?
It doesn't matter if it's the same person living there. We go every 3 years, we make sure all their smoke detectors are working. All the fire extinguishers, have been inspected. All of the, sprinklers have been inspected. The fire alarms have been inspected. There's no block egresses. There's no, extreme housekeeping issues or any life safety hazards.
Okay. So how do they initially get on your list?
They have to register, as a multifamily or mixed use building. And we know what properties those are based on our occupancy reports. And if they change their occupancy, say you have a single family that goes to a multifamily house, they obviously have to go for a permit to be able to do that, and they get added to our list.
Gotcha. Okay,
So it is a
great.
process we do, and we keep very good track of.
Great. And now all the smoke detectors are now 10 years, right? So they have to have the 10-year smoke detectors moving forward, right?
Yeah, most of them do. I mean, there's still some older ones that are, you know, lingering around. They have to have CO detectors as well if there's any, gas powered equipment in the, building at all. Like even if it's way down in the basement and they're up on the 9th floor, they'll have a CO detector.
Now, does one of the smoke detectors have to be hardwired? Or can they all be battery?
It depends on the age of the building.
Okay.
You can buy radio ones that are like interconnect.
Oh, I that's what I have there. Oh,
They can, but again, it depends on the age of the building, when it was constructed and everything, and what, codes were in place during the time of construction.
right, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, look, you did your, you look like you did the homework already. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Any council questions? Claire, audience in attendance? Lloyd?
Yeah, hello, Lloyd Kenny, your voice of reason. That's interesting, you have a list of occupied premises. You have like is that a complete list of all the premises in Hudson?
What do you mean by that?
When you say you have an occupancy list, what does that entail?
We have at every address in the city of Hudson, we know how many are in it.
Apartments.
Mhm.
That doesn't necessarily mean occupied. In-
No, I mean, if a apartment is vacant and the landlord's looking for a tenant, no, we wouldn't, no,
We
no,
don't necessarily know that.
no.
I'm just curious because I'm wondering how to play into the vacancies.
No, we have a list of any building that's either mixed use, which means like these ones on Orange Street, where they might have a commercial building downstairs and then 2 apartments above them, or even 1 apartment above them, that would still be an inspectable building.
And you,
If it has mixed use or it has 3 or more apartments inside a building. So the only ones we don't inspect would be single family or 2-family homes, which in Hudson, the majority of the buildings in Hudson are mixed use or multifamily. So we get into a lot of them.
and you said there's like 400 of those?
There's over 400 of those buildings, correct? not buildings, properties, you know, because some of these properties are the Hudson Terrace or Skylar Court, and so on, that have multiple buildings on them. So in terms of how many apartments we're actually inspecting, it's thousands.
Okay.
Now hiring.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? No, nobody, all right. Anyone online other than the hand already raised? No. Okay, well, that being the case, I don't have any more business. Thank you both for coming. And, this meeting is adjourned
Thank you.
or concluded, however we say.
Okay.
Okay,